That may have been one hell of a tree.
That's
for all
right.
we know.
Maybe it's made of mithril.
Press A to play.
I'm going to sloppily put on my mic now because we're unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
All right, so God of War.
God of War.
Gao.
So, yeah.
We're playing Gao.
We are. It is.
Gowing.
It is very late for us to be playing God of War. Granted, it's not exactly new, but like, to be fair, I've never beaten it, so like,
Really? Did you never play through it? It was really good.
I never played all the way through. No, I played it for a little bit, but I understand that I stopped before I got to the part where it really gets good. Apparently.
Okay, there's a part where it really gets good.
Apparently. Start a new game, I think.
Yeah, why not?
Save your current progress. Autosave may be lost. Okay.
Oh noes.
Should we do a balanced experience, I guess?
The auto saves.
Part of me wants to be like a bit of a gamer and be like, I got this, but like, just to make sure we can actually progress steadily. But yeah, I remember this being a big deal when it first came out, largely because like it was so different from the last series. Just the way of doing things was so different.
It did retain a lot of the same spirit. I remember what they took out though was like, when you're about to kill a boss and you gotta like press the button at the right time or some shit.
Yeah. The rhythm part.
I kind of feel like they got rid of that, and I was pretty happy about that, to be honest. I was never very good at that part, so like, yeah.
Fair enough. I didn't mind it, but I don't mind rhythm-based things. Different gamer attitudes, though.
I really want to chop down this tree.
God damn it. I feel like Kratos' strength throughout this game is highly variable. Like, at one point he does things that indicate to me that he should have been able to chop down a tree with a little less effort, but...
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like, his strength is just kind of variable based on where the story is at the moment. Or that was a very strong tree. That may have been one hell of a tree.
That's
for all
right.
we know.
Maybe it's made of mithril.
And dude, that tree has been pumping sap for so long.
I know though, it's true, right? Like he legit kills gods and has to swing more than once to chop a tree down.
Right, like he can do these incredible feats of strength, but he's got to like really work at this tree. All right, fair enough. It's a story moment. That's what matters. I do appreciate that. Just very angrily threw this bandage up. Did you find something, Atreus? Did you? Sorry, boy. Yep, there it is.
He has the manliest voice I've ever heard in my life in this.
He does. His voice actor is great too. I once saw a clip where they found his voice actor at a convention. They gave him a list of dad jokes. They're like, can you just say these dad jokes? It was amazing. Just with this great big deep voice, I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something. Just really entertaining.
Look at this. He's carrying the entire tree.
Right, but he couldn't chop it down.
No.
Just saying. Sure. All right. This branch is just going to fall off for us. Cool. Boy.
The way that he communicates with his child really just so cringy to me.
It is.
Like,
it
oh my
is.
god, wholly unhealthy communication, Batman.
I mean, it's Kratos. I think he's just unhealthy in general mentally. I mean, good lord.
Any kind of relationship therapist would be having a field day with this.
I mean, Jesus Christ, yeah. Like, this is... He spent most of his days psychopathically murdering gods. Like, not exactly a balanced person. It's kind of amazing that Atreus came out as balanced as he is, considering, actually, really. Like,
well, yeah. So you haven't finished the game. You don't know how it is that they wrap it up.
no, I don't.
Okay.
I do not. I was Kratos, and I murder-lated some things. Fought a giant. Fought some undead ice thingies.
Well,
Fought
yeah.
a few bosses, but no ending for me yet.
They're being rather interestingly liberal with the different mythologies from what it is that I saw.
Yeah, they decided to just start combining them, which I guess is fair, because I mean, when you've murdered most of the Greek pantheon, at some point you have to go outside of the Greek pantheon, right?
He's got to find some fresh hunting grounds.
Exactly. Yeah. Was it Starbomb had a whole song about it where they were like, "Oh, you've slain everyone, but I guess we'll deal with what's left. Here's cherries. He does chairs and drawers. Nope. Okay, that guy did him last. Let's go with this guy. Like it's true. Like he's already killed all of them. Where do you go from there? You know, you kind of just don't, unless you want to start like really going into the minor Greek gods. You know, start finding excuses to make minor Greek gods monstrous.
Nobody cares about
You know.
those people.
This is the muse of dancing and also murdering people, so it's totally justified. Go, Kratos, go!
The muse of dancing and murdering people is my favorite.
Actually, it's probably just gothness in a muse, isn't it? It's just the high school goths in a muse. She just raves and murders people.
I'm so sad.
So very, very sad. I think that Scott Pilgrim song lives in my head rent-free.
Scott Pilgrim, like that entire movie and everybody in it lives in my head rent free.
I mean, that's very fair. But yeah, like just that one song. Like, this song is called I'm So Sad, So Very, Very Sad. So sad! Thank you.
So good though. So they got great sounds in that too. Actually, I gotta say,
Dude,
like
that
all
entire movie
musical
was
bits.
so good that I was really hoping it would start a genre, but that is just not what happened, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I don't know why they didn't have like sequels or maybe I shouldn't be complaining though, because I feel like we're getting bled to death with all this Marvel shit or whatever. There's sequels to sequels to sequels,
This
and I'm
is
kind
true,
of like,
yeah.
gangsta, tell a story, please, and then end the story, please.
Yeah, no, the problem with media nowadays is that they're starting to compete over your time, and they kind of want you to engage with them and give them your time continuously. And they will find ways to try to tempt you to do that instead of accepting that it's probably not the best idea because eventually you get tired and give up on the whole thing. And that's kind of how I feel about Marvel now. Like, they've done some good stuff. I like a bunch of the movies. I like a bunch of the series. But I'm not at the point where, like, I'm going to purposely watch every single Marvel series that comes out just to make sure that I keep up with the latest Marvel story.
Yeah.
You know, like, it is what it is. Like, if I'm interested, I might watch it. But, like, I'm not going to go out of my way to continuously watch Marvel stories over and over again.
Can't do it.
Neither can I. I do like series that end. I've realized I really like good miniseries. You can get a series that's like 4 to 8 episodes long, but they're a good 4 to 8 episodes.
Neil Gaiman's got a new one that looks pretty
Yes,
dope.
dude. It's so good. I've already watched it. The
was
Sandman is
fast.
amazing. Yeah, oh, of course. I mean, it's the Sandman. It's the one I've been waiting for forever. I was so hyped the second I heard that it was happening. And yeah, like, I love, by the way, that it's just epic operatic music right now. There's big family moments, and I'm like, yeah, this new Netflix show is great. But yeah, I mean, of course I watched it right away because The Sandman was my favorite story of Neil Gaiman's, I think. So I was like so happy to like try and see how they were going to adapt it, and in my opinion, they did a really good job. And I think it's going to make a really good series for the same reason that American Gods did, where it is one continuous overarching plot, and yet there is room for it to tell different stories. So it's a bit of an anthology and also an overarching plot. I forgot what that story structure is called, but as a result, it doesn't really get boring because every episode you're kind of doing something else, even though in a way you're continuing the same story.
Side note, what was Kratos like as a husband?
I don't know. I wonder about that sometimes. I mean, she must have had some kinks, I think. You know, like, because good lord, you know, like I can't imagine Kratos was always in control, lifetime long. Yeah, here you go. That'll help. Here's some snow.
Squeeze.
It's only a 3rd degree burn. You'll be fine, right? Cool.
Now it is yours.
I mean, you fished it out of the fire. I'd kind of feel bad taking it from you now. Just go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel so curious about like what his relationship dynamic was like, you know, because I feel like the only time I saw that was maybe in I think it was in God of War 2 maybe, where he just seemed to have lots of lovers or something. He was just surrounded by girls or
Yeah,
something like this.
they really liked giving opportunities to have sex, but let's just be honest, it's just because Kratos is a giant male power fantasy. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like as an actual husband, like I don't know, it's weird. I can only imagine they had some kind of dom sub thing going on. Because like, what? How else could Kratos possibly exist in a romantic relationship permanently? Like, I just don't understand.
Nah, he's old Dom, this dude.
Of course, of course.
He's old Dom.
He has the biggest DE. Like, he's got to be a dom. So like, yeah, I just can't imagine any other way where it works. Oh God, it's inverted. It's fine. I got this.
Yeah, why am I so broken? All of my controllers, yeah, they have to be inverted.
I don't know.
I can't function otherwise.
You get used to it at some point, I guess, but like I don't know. I never got used to it, but like I'll adjust. It's just yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a different era of gaming that you came into it on.
I mean, I came into it. There's something to the right, by the way. I think.
Is there a chest?
Yeah, you just passed it again.
Oh, this item. Okay, yeah. I'm a gamer, I swear. Cool.
Yeah, I think I got stuck on it when I first started playing Halo, and it was like this the first time that I played as well. So I picked up the controller, and the regular thing just didn't make sense to me, and then I inverted it, and I was like, oh. Which makes me wonder what is going on in my brain and what is wrong with me, generally speaking. Yeah.
Fair enough. I don't know what the deal. Like, I mean, I'll get used to it, and I'm starting to get used to it already. But I really don't know why. Yeah, that convention just kind of died at some point. Maybe it came from flight simulators.
Oh, maybe.
Like, I can't imagine any other reason for it to be that way. But yeah, that convention just kind of stopped at some point.
Dad had this like insanely old school Microsoft flight sim 10 bajillion years ago on like one of the first computers that we ever had. And I remember it was like the lamest 2D wannabe polygon things. So maybe that might
Maybe,
actually be
right?
it.
That might be why.
So anyway, like they show Kratos being sad.
Yeah, like he's got actual emotions in this one, which is cool. I think this is an evolution of the fact that oh, did I press the wrong button? Which button is that? Click?
The D-pad right.
The D-pad right. Oh, D-pad right. Okay. Sorry. There we go. I'm a gamer, I swear. Yeah, so like they show him having actual emotions, and I feel like it's because in like modern days it's more acceptable for male power fantasies to have emotions. So like, you know, we get things now like Superman is sad in his movie, and Kratos is now sad. This is why I have my doubts about Kratos being a good family man. Just saying.
I mean, he's again clearly very, very, very poor ways of communicating.
Yeah, like just badly maladjusted. Like, yeah. He's got that thing going where like in some households anger is the only acceptable emotion. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
little freaky, bit abusive. Poor Atreus is a bit traumatized.
A bit, yeah.
But yeah, like, I think it's become more acceptable for like male power fantasies to have like actual emotions now. So like, people like Kratos are allowed to have emotions without it being a problem. You know, doesn't decrease their badassery in the modern day, which I think is a good thing. I think it's just an evolution of character-driven storytelling.
Maybe he's just, the old man's just getting soft. You know what I mean? Getting soft in his old age.
Fair enough.
Because even as the game progresses, it's clear that he was one of these men that, you know, like the only emotion they were ever allowed to have was anger kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, what I think is really interesting is even with that being the case, they do like, I don't want to give anything away, but let's just say like the relationship between him and his son evolves as the game progresses. And they do it in some surprisingly clever, subtle ways. Not that he's
Fair enough.
healthy per se, but you know, but like it does improve.
Fair. Fair.
So there is, yeah, maybe there is some awareness of these things that we're talking about, you know?
I mean, it's possible, right? Because like it's not technically new. And this is what I find interesting, right? Is that there's lots of stories out there that prove that like the very concept isn't new; it just wasn't popular. You know, there was a time where, despite the fact that emotional male characters like this existed, they just weren't popular. You know, what was popular were like the Conan the Barbarians of the world.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Right, and like at the
Crush your enemies.
exactly right, and at the same time, you had stories like Berserk, where the main character is traumatized and has emotions. You know, like these things have existed. It's just that I think the most common form of storytelling has changed, which I think is again very much a good thing. Like we need to get accustomed to the fact that everybody's got emotions, guys.
Yeah. It happens.
Everyone feels things.
It happens.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, little as some people want to admit it, everybody kind of feels things sometimes.
Well, yeah, and they do I guess what's also kind of interesting about this is it's almost like they created a new character with him, you know? Like I remember playing not too long ago actually playing I think it was the second one. Which was the one that was on PS2?
I think two of them were.
Yeah, it was 1 and 2, right? Cuz then like the third one was on PS3.
That's what I
So
think.
like whichever one it was, I remember playing it again and he is so one-dimensional. It's like
Yep.
either he is angry or
he's
he
angrier.
is like a little less angry. Like those are the pulls, you know. I'm only slightly pissed off. I am very angry. That's all they gave him. That's all he gets.
That's all he gets, yeah. And that's the thing, right? Like this was common for a while there. There were plenty of characters told this way, you know?
Yeah. They did. By the way, I really enjoyed the combat system in this.
I think they did a pretty good job with it, to be honest. Like I kind of like third-person games like this, because I think you can see more of what's going on, which is nice. I also kind of like the dodge roll they have here because it's more of a quick step, which is my my personal favorite mobility style system, I guess, for dodging. But yeah, I think the combat feels pretty satisfying. Like his axe feels heavy, which I like. Like it feels like he's really doing something, you know,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
I was just playing Final Fantasy VII Remake recently, again, like just kind of going through it again. And not that I don't enjoy the combat style, but yeah, it's got that similar problem that we were talking about, right? Where, you know, this homie could lift a house, but he can't chop a tree down,
Right.
you know? And so, like, you've got Cloud or whatever it is who's holding a sword the size of a refrigerator or something, but, you know, somehow needs to struggle to lift something up and you're just scratching your head.
Yeah, fair.
And in the combat, like that sword doesn't feel heavy somehow. It feels very light.
Yeah,
and-
it's true.
I don't know. In this game, I felt like you felt the axe sink into stuff. Oh yeah. Also, this game has puzzles, which I don't recall what to do about them. But I remember thinking the puzzles were quite satisfying.
For some reason, I feel like I need to hit that with something. But that's
You
not
missed the
helping.
clue, apparently.
I missed the clue.
Probably.
Is this it? Oh, do I just have to? Okay.
Pull the chain.
Oh, I just have to yank its chain. Hang on.
Oh yeah, and then while holding the thing,
I
you
have
gotta
to,
look
like,
at the
ice,
axe and let it stay buried in
yeah. Is it? Yeah, no, I do appreciate the Zelda-style puzzles in this game, though.
the. Yeah.
I think you might like Darksiders, given the way you like this game, actually.
It was good. I gotta say, I really enjoyed playing through FF7 Remake again.
Yeah, like I haven't beaten it yet, but I do like it. I do like it. But yeah, I mean,
You haven't
like,
beaten it?
no.
Really?
Yeah, lately I've been like I don't know. I never quite beat it. Oh, that's gotta sound terrible on the mic. Sorry, I touched the microphone. But yeah, like I never actually beat FF7 Remake. Where do I have to aim? Just directly at it? Just anywhere on it? Okay.
Now draw to your chin.
Use R2. Why am I not like I'm holding L2? Yeah, I just never quite beat it. I do want to get back to it at some point, and I will.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't just truck right through it.
I did really enjoy it. I think it's because like at the time I wanted to focus on it, and I just didn't have time to like sit down and focus on a game yet. So like when I did play it, like I put on my headphones, I turned off the lights. That is what I was doing.
Okay.
And like I just kind of ran out of time to do that.
You got into it.
Yeah, I mean, when it's a game like that's that important to me, hell yeah, I like to focus up. You know, like this is like what I'm doing for a while. Full immersion. Yeah, I even won the dart game. I got a decent way through, I think, too. I fought a bunch of soldiers. I was surprised they introduced new soldiers in that one.
Oh yeah.
I guess because, like, on the one hand, I actually like that move. I like that they introduced more of them.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I guess I figured they would be too afraid of the fan base to change very much of the story, but that's not the direction they went in, which I'm glad of, because it's a remake. It should be different.
Yeah, they added quite a lot. I thought actually, quite a lot of detail. So I recently went through the first handful of chapters on the original, and then went through basically the entire FF7 remake game, and they really did add quite a bit.
Fair enough. Yeah, so like I do wanna finish playing it. It's on my list. No hesitation stabbing that though. Yeah, that one's on my list.
He's upset.
Oh, you know what else it was? It's because I also paused the Elden Ring.
Ah,
I've since finished Elden Ringing, but yeah, like
so you finished Elden Ring.
I did.
That must have been a commitment.
It was, but like I mean, I love those games, so like for me, it wasn't that bad.
Did you find the game overall satisfying? Was it worth
I
it?
did, yeah. I think it was quite possibly the best like Souls style game to date.
Really?
Yep. Absolutely. It was very well designed, I felt. It was just very god damn it. Like they keep telling me to fire with Atreus, but I'm like, what am I supposed
His
to
weapon
do?
is just a massive rock.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think
yeah,
basically
like-
you got to be at his back.
Yeah, I felt like Elden Ring was just very well designed. So it was, it had some mechanics in it that I thought were amazing, like just very well thought out. Like especially the shield counter system in Elden Ring,
Okay.
I thought was really good, because it made play styles where you're primarily blocking not boring, which is fun. I also like felt like there was just a lot of weapon options that were very cool. They like the story they told was complex, but like in a very good way. I mean, granted, it's also kind of funny to watch as a Souls player, because like a lot of people who don't normally play these kinds of games got into it, and they had commentary like, "God, this game sucks. I mean, there's no pointers to tell you where to go to finish a quest. You just kind of have to stumble upon things."
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. There's no quest markers. I'm like, but that's the beauty of Elden Ring. That it's not just open world games. If they're not careful, just kind of become giant to-do lists, you know?
Yeah.
And Elden Ring avoids that by letting you just discover things naturally. That's the point of the game. So like, you know, if you don't like that kind of game, you're not gonna like it, and that's okay. But that's the kind of game that it is, you know? And that's
Yeah,
part of the
I
reason why
can
it was so good.
So is it also like the other Souls that you described that kind of punishes you for losing?
It does do the same thing, where like, you know, if you die, you drop your runes in this game. They're called your points, you know, and then you have to go get them back.
Gotta get the runes.
Yep. I will say that like this one has a few better systems, where like there's a checkpoint system. If you're trying to do like a challenge, there's a point where you can like sort of save your progress in a way, so that like if you've made it to that point and this challenge is what you're doing, if you die, you'll respawn at the nearby checkpoint instead of all the way back at wherever you started, so you can try again faster.
Okay, that's good.
That I really, really liked. Yeah, I thought that was a very worthwhile change, right up there with the shield moves. Is he gonna stop?
I think you've upset him.
A little bit, you know. I
I think you've upset him. I think he's
mildly, you know.
you've made him a bit grumpy.
Just mildly pissed him off. Does this do anything?
The thing he's holding, it's like he's swinging a refrigerator at
Yep.
you.
He's like, you know that tree you had trouble cutting down? Yeah, I also felt like the story was just genuinely really interesting. You know, I really liked the way they set it up, and I'm looking forward to all the DLC, of course.
Ah, yeah, okay. I can imagine there's gonna be a ton.
Oh yeah, I'm still working on like beating Millennia and like the optional bosses too, because like their optional bosses in this game were amazing. They really like went hard, you know. So they weren't joking around. Like Millennia is a challenge boss. She is a challenge boss. She might be the hardest boss FromSoft ever designed.
Oh wow, okay.
So much so that like a guy built an entire legend on continuously killing her for other people. I don't know if you've heard of Let Me Solo Her, but like he's an entire legend now.
Wow.
Or like, yeah, you would summon this guy, and his player's name was Let Me Solo Her, and yeah, you would summon him and he'll just kill her for you. And like this is in the multiplayer version where, I see what I'm doing wrong. I don't have invincibility frames like I thought I did. Where basically if you summon someone to fight a boss with you, they have more health because there's two of you. This dude will still solo her no problem, would not take a single hit.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
and so
she's the hardest.
some people say she's the hardest FromSoft boss. Yeah, like obviously that's subjective, but a lot of people were saying she's the hardest. Like when she first happened to everyone, people thought she might be bugged, because like nobody could kill her. Like, and this dude just without taking a single hit. Sometimes he even has time to pause and wave at his audience.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think I saw like live streams of his where it was like, you know, the 2000th millennia slain or something. You know,
Oh my god.
like dude is ridiculous. So yeah, like they did some very cool stuff with this game and with the story.
How do you feel it compares to Bloodstained?
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
I think it's very good. I actually think that Bloodborne is my other like my second favorite of all the Souls games. I'll be honest, I actually liked Bloodborne's story a little more, but that's just because I like the Eldritch horror shit.
Yeah, they did it so well, man.
They did it beautifully well.
So well.
Absolutely,
man.
like, 1000%. Like they absolutely.
I wasn't even
nailed
into
it.
the game. I didn't even like that style of game, and I was like, but that's creepy and cool.
Yeah, dude, they did Lovecraftian horror so well, like so well. You can tell it was a real passion project for the creator as well. But yeah, like that's probably my favorite story-wise. But gameplay-wise, I think Elden Ring is my favorite.
Okay.
And I still really liked Elden Ring's story. But to be honest, it wasn't because like a lot of people made a big deal about George R.R. Martin being part of the story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he helped write some of it. I say that because he wasn't really like heavily involved the entire way through or anything. So like if you were excited for that, like that's just not the case. But he did help write like some of the backstory and like the setup of the world and all that.
I have a suggestion. Maybe let him, not let him hit you on the head with the refrigerator.
Is that okay? It's a good piece of advice. I'll try to keep it in mind.
This is, I'm thinking aloud. I'm spitballing here.
You're saying don't let him.
Don't let him is what I'm saying. Yeah, I know it sounds a bit counterintuitive, but like
do not.
Yeah, do not.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'll try to keep that in mind. Come on, boy.
Come on, boy.
This guy just will not stop, man. Dude, one dude from Skyrim took an arrow to the knee and he was done. This dude axes to the face, knee, and groin. No problem.
Nope.
Even his groin is stone.
I've got a refrigerator!
He's like, hang on while I hit you with the school bus real quick. This is what I should have been doing the entire time. I'm just an idiot. There we go. Yeah. See, I felt like that one's story was really good and I really liked the gameplay, but I mean, for me, very few things are going to beat Bloodborne, though, because that's my favorite kind of environment, I think. That like Lovecraftian horror, you know, you have no idea what's going on, you have to figure it out as you go. And like there's existential crises and explorations of humanity and shit like that. That is absolutely my jam. Elden Ring's jam was different. Martin helped write the beginning of the series, like the backstory, which I think you can definitely see playing through it.
Mm-hmm. So random people were losing their hands and dying. Oh yeah, you got to do the thing.
Yeah, definitely. Like
Do the thing.
R3. Okay, here we go. Yeah, absolutely.
Because it wouldn't be God of War without the gratuitous.
Of course, yeah. If you don't see a death scene that makes you mildly uncomfortable about like your own mental state, then it's not God of War. Yeah, it's right. Trauma showing itself. You go, Atreus.
There's so many psychological
Yeah.
issues.
Oh, 1000%. A psychologist would have a field day. was I saying? Yeah, I lost it.
We were taken.
Yeah, oh
by
Martin.
the
Yeah,
gravity of
yeah,
the scene.
absolutely. Like there's random character deaths by conspiracy and like intrigue and stuff like that. You can definitely see his hand in the writing.
Go R.R. Martin.
I think what I really liked though was the way they wrote the story afterward. A lot of it had to do with like Celtic and Arthurian mythologies.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was very neat the way they did it.